Hey, you've probably heard about the Rode wireless microphones, right? Those square box things, like the one I have on my chest right now, that you can use to record your audio wirelessly so that you can be far away from your camera or the receiver and still get really crisp audio, right? Well, Rode have gone one step further and created the Rode Interview Pro microphone. Now, it's a bit different in the way it works to the other Rode Wireless Go microphones, but it's definitely something worth giving a try. Imagine a scenario where you're doing maybe street interviews, for example, and it's just nice to have that microphone handheld in a way that's, sturdy, easy to handle, but also will capture sound quality really well, just like Rode microphones generally do. And then you'll be able to get the clean audio and clear audio from the person you're interviewing, as well as yourself, just from one microphone. Now, the difference between this microphone and other handheld microphones is that it's actually what we call a condenser microphone. So it's a microphone that takes a record, and it's omnidirectional as well, which means that as you're holding it, it takes audio from everything around it. And so it doesn't matter if you tilt the microphone a slightly different way, you're still going to capture the audio from both the interviewer and the interviewee. So really good there. Now, the only slight downside with that is the fact that it then means that you do capture more of the surround sound, but it's a small price to pay. A special thing about this microphone is that you can actually press the record button to record directly onto the microphone. That way you can have very clear recording, and even if you're very far from the receiver, you can still record. Even if you then lose line of sight with the receiver, so which means if something physically comes in between you and the receiver, you still have the recording recorded perfectly, which is pretty awesome. Now, another thing to bear in mind with this is that it records 32-bit float. That just means that it allows you to record and not be too worried about sounds being too low or too high, because you can still adjust that when you come to editing your audio. And this can be very perfect for situations where you may be speaking quietly and then there are loud sounds in the background that you want to capture but are too loud, and so you can adjust that later. Or let's say somebody shouts all of a sudden, that could mess up the audio level, and so you can still adjust that later, which is something pretty good to have. Another thing I can tell you about the microphone is that when it comes to battery life, it can last up to 25 hours, which means you could have a whole day's worth of recording and not be worried about your battery running out. And that comes with a single full charge. Now, another thing to bear in mind is that the onboard recording capability is up to 40 hours at 32-bit float, which means you could go for almost 2 days and you'd have brilliant audio all the way through, which is fantastic, right? A beautiful thing about the microphone is that you can actually mute yourself on the microphone just by pressing the mute button just under there. Now, the only thing I do have to warn you about, though, is that if you want to record the audio directly from the microphone, the wireless microphone, you do need one of Rode's products. So either you need a receiver from another of the Rode wireless microphones, or you need to use one of Rode's interfaces. So for example, the RODECASTER. That's important. Otherwise, there would be no way of getting the audio from the Rode interview into your camera or your phone, for example. And if you're in a situation where you have to record audio out and about on the street, I wouldn't recommend having the interfaces. I would actually recommend just getting yourself a Rode Wireless Go microphone and then use the transmitter on that to send the signal from the microphone to the receiver, and then you can plug it straight to your camera like I'm doing now, or plug it into your phone or whatever device you choose to record with. If you're getting some value from this video, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. But that has been the Rode Interview Pro microphone. It currently retails at about $250 US. So check it out and let me know what you think. I'll put some links in the description so you can check it out yourself. All right, I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.